Do you just promote your podcast on day of release? Because if so, you are losing downloads, you are leaving fans and audience members on the table, and ultimately you will find it difficult to grow your show. Podcast marketing isn't an easy thing, and I believe, just like every other piece of marketing, that this is a long-term strategic play, which is why we've put together an entire tutorial, the ultimate guide to podcast marketing at captivate.fm/marketing. I urge you to go and check that out before you take a look at anything else. Like I said, you promote your podcast, you publish your show, you get an episode out, it's a great episode, you put some tweets out, maybe you do some pull quotes, maybe you do some nice little audiograms, schedule some Facebook posts up, some tweets, some Instagram, bit of LinkedIn, and then you recycle it. You stick it in your buffer queue or your Meet Edgar queue or your Hootsuite queue. And what you do is you basically just say to the audience, here's my new episode today, and then you set it and forget it. And that is what most podcasters do. They create a new episode, they push it out, and that is it. They move on to the next episode. The problem with that is that if I was to do that with Captivate, any other product that I built in my past or indeed in my future, would that product grow? No, of course not. And the reason it wouldn't grow is because there's no long-term strategy. What I'm urging you to do today is to consider, what is my long-term podcast marketing strategy? How do I attract new people to listen to my show? How do I convert them through from listening to the trailer to the main episodes, and from the main episodes to subscribing and listening to every single episode? It's not an easy thing to do, but I'm urging you right now to spend time learning marketing, because look, it's not enough to just promote the episode that you released today, okay, and then recycle it into a queue. And there's a number of reasons for that. Number one, primarily, first and foremost, is that when you recycle content in the future, when you actually put a tweet out in 3 weeks' time about the episode you released 3 weeks ago, who's realistically going to click on that? You will have to find someone with that tweet right at the point that they are interested in looking for that very thing, and where they've got 30 minutes to listen to a podcast episode, and where they're not doing anything else. The chances of doing that are so slim. So we have to build a wider strategy. I'm serious when I say this. One of the biggest problems that I find with all podcasters, when I do any consulting work, when I do any coaching work, when I'm working on Captivate's support desk, when we're doing our deep dive Q&A sessions that we do for Captivate podcasters, when we do any online webinar and event, two things come up without fail. One, how do I get more listeners? Two, here's my marketing, and it's just a bit of social scheduling. That is not enough. It's a big topic. That's why we put the big ultimate guide to podcast marketing out, captivate.fm/marketing. Go and check it out. But the purpose of this content right here, right now, is to kind of shock you into a little bit of a mindset shift. Because if all you're doing, and like I said, I know so many people that do this. Every podcaster that I talk to, I was talking to someone just last night on this very thing. Every podcaster I talk to, all they do is schedule an episode, put some social posts out, maybe email their list, and that is it. And they wonder why they're not getting any more listens. Action point. Go and do this now. Go to captivate.fm/marketing. Let's look at how you can start to use some of these marketing tactics to actually build your audience. And if you're a Captivate podcaster, let's talk about this. If you use Captivate for your podcast hosting, analytics, and marketing, let's do this on our twice monthly exclusive Q&A sessions. Now, we do this for all of our Captivate podcast websites and Podcast Success Academy members. And if you're a podcaster using any one of the Rebel-based media suite of podcasting tools, you can join these deep dive Q&As completely for free. It's with me and the Rebel-based media team, and we talk podcast growth, podcast marketing, and so much more. So we'll see you there.